Welcome to the last preview of the season as Forest go to... Who are we playing? Burnley. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. All right, I'm not going to lie. For the first time this season, I'm the reason we're late. It had to happen. 1 in 38, yeah. What,
you got something to say? Well, you said you weren't. That wasn't the first time because of you, mate. Trust me.
When have I ever been late? In fact, I'm always the first one in. Me and Crypto are always first.
Yeah.
Ant's been spot. I was just coming to you. Ed, you've been terrible, right?
Shut up, man.
Rob, now that he's got new famous YouTube friends, he just turns up.
He just lets us know if he's going to turn up. Yeah, that's Rob.
And Lemmy's like turning up from the beach in Nottingham. At least Lemmy's put some effort in. Chat, hope you're well. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. Welcome to the finale. Make sure you've hit that like button. You know the drill. Subscribe if you are new. All right, let's get this out of the way, honestly, because I woke up to WhatsApp messages from him. And I just want to check. See, he was smiling, and then I said, and he got. All right, Rob's now thinks he's fully famous. New job as a tour guide. Yeah. I've got one question, Rob. Why were you wearing a blazer in 35 degrees?
It was about 18 degrees. It just looked hotter than it was.
No, it was hot, man. You did it the day it was boiling, so don't try and lie.
It's got nothing. Yeah, but let's be honest. It's nothing to do with temperature, is it? It's fashion statement.
I mean, really? Him and fashion, and we're gonna go down that route.
Lecturer. I'm sure I called you the lecturer at some point, so that's exactly what you look like, mate. You just didn't have the patches on your elbow.
Lecturer.
Good job, though, by the way.
I'll have them soon enough. Yeah, okay. So if anybody wants to know,
for anybody who doesn't know, let them know.
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't know what they're talking about, there's a YouTube channel called Wandering Turnip, where he basically just vlogs himself walking around cities and towns in England and showing. Well, his theme is the decline of the high street. And what basically the sequence of events is he visited Nottingham last week. I mean, I follow his channel anyway. He visited Nottingham last week. It popped up in my feeds. And then I watched it. And like the first 20 minutes was like Grantham anyway. I don't know what that was all about. And then he did walk around Nottingham and, he covered the area around the Broad Marsh and showed, we all know how it's gone downhill. And then it just sort of ended. And I thought, well, come on, he's missed just about anything good out. So I
spent most of the time in Grantham, mate.
Well, I called him out a bit in the comments, and I just left a commentary on where he'd been and trying to explain about the Broadmarsh and the rest of it. And I said, look, if you ever want to come back, I'll give you a tour. And to his credit, he said, right, let's do it. Got in touch straight away, didn't he? So we met up on Monday, and basically you can go over to Wandering Turnip on YouTube, and it's a 25-minute video of me and him going around Nottingham. And by the end, after watching it, I think I'd even convinced myself that it was the best city in the UK. So hopefully set the record straight a bit, showed off some of the old stuff and talked a bit about the history. It was good fun.
And just to set the record straight, where Rob said it's 25 minutes of him and David walking around. No, it's 25 minutes of Rob talking.
I did and yeah. He told me that it was actually 3 hours. It was 3 hours long, and he only showed 25 minutes.
No, right.
He said that to me as well.
We were recording for 3 hours, and he had to edit it down to 25 minutes. So I have had a lot of the feedback's been largely quite positive, but a lot of people said, "Oh, why did you miss this out? Why did you miss that out?" Yeah. Like the fountain clock in the Victoria Centre, for example, that was switched off. And we got kicked out there by security for filming, which was really lame.
Did you not say? Do you know who I am?
Oh, I was thinking of trying that, but because they didn't instantly recognise me. I thought this could backfire. But so he's fitted in as much as he can. But he basically says if he makes the videos longer than 25 minutes, people don't watch to the end. I wonder how many people make it through 90 minutes of us, but it seems like a few do.
Not many, mate. Not many. Yeah. 90 seconds is enough. Honestly, joking aside, it was a really good video. It was enjoyable to watch. And it was weird. I mean, me and Crypto was just talking backstage because we both went to uni at Newton Building. That is unrecognizable. I haven't been in there in donkeys, man. I mean, is that different from when you were in there?
Yeah, it did look a bit different. I mean, how long was it since I left uni? Probably 11 years. So yeah, it did look different. But I did find it funny when I'm sure he said something like, "These students will be coming up to you and asking for their papers or something because you look like a lecturer here." Because I was thinking, how did you get past security? And then I realized, Rob was basically dressed like a senior lecturer, dean of the college.
Like an old fart, basically.
The correct name, yeah, dean of Newton Building. So, yeah, it did look a bit different, but no, it was a good video. Everybody should take 25 minutes out to go and watch.
I was very impressed as well with your
historical knowledge.
Thank you. Historical knowledge.
Well,
thanks.
And before you say that, I think there's a retraction that Rob needs to make. So I don't know if Si's in the chat.
Simon Jones. Right. If Simon Jones is there, yes, I was slightly wrong about. So Nottingham was occupied by Parliament during the Civil War, not by the Royalists. But the Civil War
did quite and you made quite a big thing of that.
I also said that
I mean, that literally changed history.
Oh, well, I also said that the castle was dynamited by Oliver Cromwell, and then someone said in the comments, dynamite
didn't exist.
200 years.
Gunpowder, you know. They won the Second World War. I was just wondering.
Basically, what happened is Rob took what he does on FFTV and just chatted shit for an hour and got away with it.
Without being interrupted.
You know what, Crypto? It's interesting you say that because when he just spelled out there how he got in touch with Wandering Turnip, I was like, this sounds familiar. Who put an RC message on FFTV and then reached back out and all that? And
it worked.
It worked, yeah. So Rob will be leaving us after today and going on to do tour guides with the Wandering Turnip around England. So watch out for those.
I just need to find someone with 2 million followers and start trolling them.
Yeah, you're working your way up the hierarchy, aren't you? I'll put you in touch with Vizor after this one.
Some accusations.
The reason he likes that is because, as he just said, he doesn't get interrupted, so he can give out these false facts and nobody he's on here. We have him.
Oh god. Anyway, let's go on a bit. Well, let's go to Lemmy, man. It's been a few weeks since we've last seen you, mate. You keeping well? Chat, say hi to Lemmy. Let's see some Lemmy hides in the chat. How you doing, buddy? You're looking radiant, mate.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's lovely on the beach down here in Market Square. I don't know where the rest of you lot are. You just didn't decide to turn up. But yeah, apologies for my absence. I thought as FFTV, we always get the inside scoop. I heard that the next home games were going to be played down in Totem. So that's where I took a walk down to at the weekend. And then no one was there and I've had to walk all the way back. It's taken me ages. So finally ready.
Was there a bowl there yet?
Brilliant. That's a brilliant channel. That is brilliant channel.
I've never heard of it. Sorry.
No.
He gets about 1 million views every video. So he just goes around all these weird European countries, and it's fantastic. Brilliant.
Weird European.
Anyway, Lemmy, before you were interrupted by Bolden Bankrupt and some YouTube channel. I forgot what you. Sorry, carry on. So you went to Totem. Did you see a stadium there, or was it just like a couple of railway tracks?
Oh no, it's all built up. I don't know if you saw on Twitter. There's a lot of people who are very good at civil building development and civil engineering. They all popped down there and got it knocked up straight away. It was a good team effort. It was nice to see that they finally stopped bitching about it and finally got to doing some actual work. So yeah, it's all ready to go.
Lemmy, you got some fans in the chat.
Oh, thanks, Jim. Yeah.
You can almost see him reading and processing the words.
There was some concept art of what the new stadium could look like, and it was put out on Twitter. And I didn't notice anything about it. But one of the guys below in the comments noted it was by Mark Druitt. He went, "Oh, Mark Druitt, very good, very good." But he's an architect, and his name is actually Mark Druitt.
Oh, is that the one where they turned the city ground round?
Yeah,
you don't want that.
That would give me pure OCD, man. I'm sorry, but you can't have the Trent and that side. And I'm sorry, that's worse than Totem for me. I don't know. I don't know why it would give me some pure OCD, and I don't think I could handle it.
Isn't that what they did with the Tottenham Stadium, though? With the Tottenham Stadium, they kind of built it around White Hart Lane while it was still there, and they built 3 of the sides of it. So you could do that because you'd have to knock down the Environment Agency building, which people were saying is not currently in use. Anyway, we're going off topic. But
the thing I don't like about round stadiums is you're further away from the pitch because obviously it has to curve round the edges.
The sides.
It's a good point. I never thought of that until you said it the other day. It is true. You end up, and well, I know they got an athletics track.
If it's like that and the pitch is straight, it has to naturally. It like an Olympic running track. You sit far back.
Something about round stadiums as well. It's just only an opinion. Like even like the Allianz, which is incredible looking spaceship type thing. I think that they will look very dated in not too distant future, because a rectangular ground will always look like a football ground, but a pure round one, I think, will look dated. It'll look old fashioned in 20 years' time.
It's that Beverly Hills Cop too, mate. Anyway, let's not go down in the stadium room. Right. What do we want to start with? Do we want to start with VAR? Because Anthony, you had a few choice words to say in the earliest stream.
Yeah.
Should we do a quick VAR bit just to tick the box?
Well, if I give you my very brief thoughts on it, right. First thing is, I think VAR's going nowhere. I don't think you could put the genie back in the bottle, right? But I think football was better. I think I enjoyed football better when there was no VAR as it is now, right? As it is now, it is awful. You know, everybody knows about the not being able to celebrate goals properly, etc. And the fact that they get the decisions wrong anyway, even though it goes to VAR and they get it wrong as well, and everybody knows it. It's not a secret. So, yes, I agree with the point of view where people say that if it was operated better, then it would be better. But the problem is, it won't be operated better because the same arseholes will always be running it. That's the problem.
Howard Red Web.
If they changed it and had the referees as a separate organisation and entity to VAR, I think that would be a lot better. But at the moment, VAR is there to back up the referee. That's what it's there for. They very rarely change a decision, and always, you know, we're not going to change the referee's decision because there's not enough evidence. Yes, there is. You've seen him trip him over, for example, but they won't change it because what they're saying is, oh yeah, but from the referee's point of view, I can understand why he didn't see it, so therefore we can't give it. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Something's either right or it's wrong, and VAR will not do that. So for me, if I had the choice, I would keep it for goal line technology, offsides, and that pretty much would be it. Because I used to enjoy football a lot more than I do now. As a match-going fan, it's different when you watch it on TV because you get all the explanations and blah blah blah. You see the videos. At the ground, you see nothing. Most of the time, you don't even know what it's for. Yeah, so for me, I'd be quite happy. It's not going to happen, but I'd be quite happy for them to say, right, it's just for goal and go back to the old days when everybody just hated the ref.
You get these comments about, you know, Forest fans saying it was better being in the Championship. And on many reasons, I totally disagree. But one reason I do agree on is that we didn't have to deal with VAR. I think football without VAR was better back then. But saying that, the problem isn't with VAR. The problem is with the people in charge of it and the people in control of it. And unless that changes, you might as well get rid of it and just keep it for like answers, goal line decisions and offsides. They're the only two. If
you can't, they're connected. Sorry to interrupt you. They're connected. You get rid of them all, or you get rid of nothing.
No, I don't think
you can do what you like.
If you have that automated system,
there's no law that says that.
That's what they're talking about now.
If the Premier League said we want to get rid of VAR except for that and that, and we'll pay you that many millions a year, they take it rather than nothing.
That's not what the vote's about, but all right. Sorry, carry on. As I interrupted you.
Yeah.
But
no,
if
that's
that was
enough.
the case,
all about that.
Yeah. If it was possible just to keep the goal line technology and the automated system which they use in Europe, bring that in, because then you don't. It's not down to judgment, is it? If that's black and white, the way they've done it, you know, that's a much better offside system. If you have those two in place, I'm happy to get rid of the rest of it, because until you can get competent people, and we've called them corrupt at times this season. So it's not just been about competency; it's about being about the old boys club and all the corruption going on behind it. If you can't get rid of those idiots in charge, then you might as well get rid of VAR. And if I was left to vote for it, I'd probably tomorrow I'd vote get rid of it.
Yeah, but
have you actually read Wolverhampton Wanderers' statement that they put out for reasons?
No, I haven't had a chance.
Really, it's excellent. There's about 9 points on there, and you cannot disagree with any of them.
And you can't disagree with the bullshit they've had to put up with this season as well. Wolves and Forest have been on the wrong end of so many VAR decisions between us. You probably could total 30-odd points between them, if not more. But we've missed out on.
Even if it's the one that decides the league title, absolutely. like when at Newcastle when he was pushed, that lost them 3 points.
Yeah,
you know, so even one decision can have a massive effect. Same with Liverpool with the offside, and same with Man City. I'm sure they all have, but you get what I'm saying. One decision,
like we said before,
can send you down.
There's nuances as well, because how does it affect the rest of the game? You give that decision, you know, how do you end up defending a 1-0 lead or whatever? It does depend on how the game goes. So you can't just say black and white that, you know, that's how many points it's cost us, or that's how many more points we would have got. So there is nuances involved in that. But for me, as it stands, I'd get rid of it. I'd get rid of it tomorrow.
The problem is it's the incompetence of the refs using the system, because if it was used correctly, there could be some good things. Some of the rules are stupid. You go back to the Bolly incident. The rule there should be, right, we've had a look at it. He didn't foul him. Actually, he didn't even touch the player. Turn it over. But there's all these stupid rules.
Easy.
I can't remember what game it was, but normally if a player is through on goal, you let them play out and then check the offside. There was a game where Taiwo got through on goal about 3 or 4 times, and every time they thought he was offside, they blew him. And on the highlights,
they blew him, did they?
Yeah, they blew him. They noshed him off. They took him in the back room.
Again.
And I've lost my track. I've lost my track now.
There you are.
They blew Taiwo. That's the last I heard. Go on.
After blowing off Taiwo, it shouldn't have happened. They should have let him play out. They should let him play out, then checked it on VAR. There's all these stupid rules which don't help the game. They make the game worse. And at the same time, it's incompetence and there's corruption there. And it should be a system which, to be honest, you know, you could outsource it to a different country. People who literally don't care, people who have no, nothing to do with any of the clubs in the Premier League. Give it to people who are independent. Like Ant said, I think Ant's point's really good. Independent of the PGMOL. They don't need to know the ref. They shouldn't know the ref. They shouldn't be best mates with the ref. They should be completely independent. They shouldn't be going and being taken by Man City on luxury holidays to Dubai. They shouldn't be getting all these things. They should be an independent panel who make proper decisions. And if they did that, it wouldn't have been such a shit show like it was this year.
But you know what? Just not be hypocrites.
I can have a referee effectively judging another referee when the following week those roles are reversed. So he knows that if I do that, he might do that. So they look after each other, aren't they?
It is a merry-go-round, isn't it?
And they came out and said, and that German referee at the weekend has been sacked for corruption because he gave his team 15 minutes added on time until they scored. So it's proof people do it. I know it wasn't in the UK, but there's been a ref basically accused of corruption and actually sacked for it over the last week or so.
Yeah, but you shouldn't let that distract you from the real problem, which is Matthew's gross incompetency and old boys network. Don't let that side of things.
But it shouldn't be like that. I'll tell you an interesting fact. I mean, it may not be interesting, but okay. I'll tell you anyway. When I worked at Sky, the guys who film the matches, they're actually specifically employed to not enjoy the game of football because they don't want them to be distracted. They want them to be there. They want them to be there to do their job, to film the match. They don't want them filming then jumping up and down and cheering because their team scored. That's what the refs should be. They should understand the game of football. I'm not talking about the refs on the pitch. The VAR refs, they should understand the game of football, but they should not be fans of any British team in the Premier League or Championship or EFL, whatever it is. They should be completely independent.
Foreign officials.
Foreign officials, yeah, perfect. That's what I'm saying. Give it abroad.
You lot are going on some weird tangents here. You're like, so far, to summarize, you're not saying they're incompetent, therefore get rid of it because of their incompetency, not the system's incompetency. And you're not saying, well, foreign refs are better, yet 10, 15 years ago, everyone used to turn their nose up about, oh, those refs in Europe and stuff, and they're so much better than what we've got.
Not on the pitch. I do it
It's not
specifically
just
for
refereeing competence either. It's also, as Crypto pointed out, maybe as it's also the way that they're interpreting the rules. They're not following what they should be doing. They're making it up as they go along. It's inconsistent. And that's why
they shouldn't be coming out to apologize.
Who knows what they're doing and will stick rigidly to it.
Yeah. They should know the rule. They shouldn't be able to come out and say, I'm sorry, I did this wrong. I did this wrong every game. They should just be a set number of rules that they can't get wrong. They should know the rule book, and that's how it's followed. Not, oh, I got this wrong. I mean, it happened with the Liverpool match where they got given a drop ball. He came out after and said, I got that wrong. You shouldn't be able to get that wrong at this level. You're costing clubs millions of pounds. You're potentially getting clubs relegated. You're ruining the fans' love for the club if you get relegated. Experience, everything. There's so many knock-on effects, and they get away with it, and they just come out and they say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. If that was in any other job, you'd be gone.
Do they even say that? Do they even apologize?
Sometimes they don't even apologize.
Totally unaccountable.
And the thing that really annoys me is they come out after and they say, Nico Williams, you're getting fined. Marinakis, you're getting fined. You can't talk about this. Nuno, you're getting fined. You're not allowed to talk about this. Even though they've been proved wrong, and people can't even have free speech to criticize them. And it's just that's what stinks of corruption is like we can get away with doing things which are wrong. Nobody can criticize us. Nobody polices us. We can do what we want. We can stick up for our mates. The guy said it on TV, didn't he? I can't remember what his name is. Came out and said, sometimes I stick up for my mates if I was on VAR because I don't want to make them look silly. I mean, it's ridiculous, really. It's Premier League football, and there's everything that goes with it. And I just think it's sickening.
All right, let's park VAR for a minute. I still think it should stay. I think the people running it should go. Howard Red-Webb. That's the biggest problem. We all know what he was like for Man U.
Yeah,
okay, let's get.
If you're not going to get rid of them, though, then you have to get rid of the whole thing, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into the football. Just before we do, Football Prizes have got a crazy good offer yet again this week. They've got the whole squad signed, sealed, delivered, and framed. But even scarier than that is what they've done here. Let me just bring it up quickly on screen so you guys can see it. And that is an Insta prize win on Murillo shirts. Now, will this be the last time we see Murillo play tomorrow? We're about to get in that. If you hit ticket number 40,
Sunday,
that's an instant win of Murillo's signed shirt. And if you hit
fall in for this again.
As he says,
I let Ant fall for it.
Of all the goes I've had, I've only won it once. I mean, what's going on?
We've only won it once. Since Ant won it, I've made sure they've blacklisted him. Also, number ticket 190 gets you Niakate. And even if you win those, you're still in the draw for the signed frame shirt. The link is pinned into the chat. If you hit ticket number 40, the same criteria as the Felipe one counts, and we will ban you from the channel. So just a heads up. So just know that's coming. So go get your tickets if you're interested in that. Rob, is this going to be the last time we see Niakate? Oh, wrong button. In a Forest shirt. Okay, that's just messed up.
Niakate, you mean Murillo?
Sorry, Murillo. Yeah, Murillo.
No, I mean, you know my view on this. It's whether I think we've probably seen that Nuno is staying, and it's whether Nuno can convince probably both of them, Murillo and Gibbs White, to stay. I think that if you lose one, you possibly lose both because top players want to be surrounded by other top players. So we are going to have to find some crappers to sell by June the 30th to balance the books. And then we've got to show some real intent in the transfer market after that. And if that's the case, we can hang on to Murillo. If we can't find people to buy our crappers, He's the one that's in demand. We will probably have to sell before the 30th of June. Otherwise, it's going to be PSR'd again. So I hope that's what they're thinking about now, and not the fucking stadium, right? The focus of the club should entirely be on who do we move on by June the 30th so we don't get PSR'd again. Stop thinking about the stadium and think only about that.
I don't know, Rob, if it's so much obviously the players would have to have a say in it as well, but for me, it's more so convincing of Marinakis. If somebody comes in with a £80 million bid for Murillo, you could try and convince him to stay, but Marinakis would probably say, sorry, but that is pure bottom line profit.
He'd be right,
at the end of the day, it's a business.
Right. Yeah, but he's not looking to make money out of Forest.
Marinakis. No, I'm not saying that, but if it gets to a point where it's a crazy offer, I don't really think it would be all of the players' decision. I think it would be, the CEO, the ownership who you were trying to convince to keep them in the club.
Well, Lemmy, what would you do? Like 30th of June, Forest need to make at least 15 million, and that's PSR profits. So you can't sell Worrell and 2 others for 5 million each. It's not enough. Who would you get rid of to get the 15 million? Because there's talks today. I saw some reports on Spurs coming in for 70 million on Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't know why Spurs always want to buy Forest players. It just do my head in.
Always have done.
It's so annoying. I can't stand them. Well, how would you do it? Would you go for one hit with a Morgan Gibbs-White or a Murillo? Or do you reckon there's enough money on the Deadwoods to get them out and get us safe from PSR trouble?
I'd go for option C, which is sell none of them, take the PSR, and then just absolutely run the league and take the 10-point hit and be like, yeah, we're still safe. It's fine.
Are you serious? Are you being serious?
No, I'm not serious.
I thought you were. Because there's a few that have said that. We'll do a quick poll on that. I'll give you guys the 3 options. Tell me which you would do, but go on, let me go.
If there was a way of it just being 4 points again, then yeah, I'd probably run the risk of that. I think we'd probably still be safe with a 4-point loss. But if it ended up being like 10 points, like Everton initially got handed, I think we'd struggle to get points back on that. So I don't think that's an option, but I would love them to just give them 2 middle fingers to the Premier League and say swivel on them and say we're just going to do what we want and build a team relative to the top 6 because that's how they run their football clubs. I'd like to think we'd be able to amass the money with the amount of players that we're probably looking to get rid of anyway. But I think it'd be difficult. I'd probably say you'd have to get rid of one of the 2, and I keep flip-flopping now. Initially, I was very stern on keep Morgan Gibbs-White at all costs, but I do like Murillo now a bit. And I think he's starting to definitely warm up to me. I think if we could build on him and not have to bring it, because I think we'd have to get 2 centre-backs in if we got rid of him. I'd rather just get 1 in and leave it at that.
There's so many options though, Lemmy, to send players out. I mean, there's the goalies, Vlachodimos, Turner, Hennessy. There's Czech Coyote. There's Worrell. There's all these different players.
O'Brien.
I know they're not going to be worth loads, but if you add 5 or 6 of them together, you easily get to 15.
No, you're doing it wrong, Crypto. You can't do it like that because it's about what you pay. What's that word? What's that big word that I can never say?
Amortization.
Thank you. It's about that. So if you take, let's say, Lewis O'Brien, who probably signed, I can't remember what it was. Let's call it a 5-year contract, and we paid 5 mil for him. So we've still got, what year is he in now? We're coming up to this 30. Say we've paid 2 million, and you sold him for 3 million. It's not 3 million to your PSR. It'd be 1 million. Okay. Yeah, it'd be 1 million.
You would have to sell a lot.
Absolutely rubbish.
But the homegrown players will be worth pure profit.
We've only got 2.
Yeah, but what Ryan Yates is our best player to most people, so 15 mil, see him out the door.
That's what you got. You got Yates and Worrell.
I make a very, very, very important point here, and it's something that, from what I've seen, the vast majority of football fans don't understand. It's about PSR. Transfers are not the be-all and end-all of PSR. It's wages that are the big problem with PSR. It's having a massive wage bill that causes you more issues than the actual transfer dealings. So people need to concentrate more on the salaries than they do on the players.
That's why Chris Wood's
contract. Like you say, if you buy a player and you sell him 2 years later, that's not all profit, as you just pointed out. It's the salaries. You know, if you've got £200 million in salaries, that's £200 million you've not got to spend on players. Yeah. So even if you spend nothing on players, you've still got a £200 million salary.
Yes, so but salaries make a difference over the course of the whole year. We've now got 6 weeks to move the needle, and the only way that we're going to get it the right side of the line is with transfer dealings.
In general, people always concentrate on
but that's why
you can make £50 million profit on a player, but if your salary is 200 million, then that's 150 million over you.
Yeah, look at Lingard as the example. We signed him for free, and he cost us just under 10 million. You know, so
there you go. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. And people wondered why I didn't want him.
Example.
Yeah.
So we've got players like Chris Wood, who's on very, very high wage, and Origi,
and he was originally on a 1 year contract. The problem with Chris Wood's one was that it was over such a short time that it wasn't spread out. If they'd given Chris Wood a 3 year contract, he's going to deserve the high wage. That's fine, but they'd put it all into a 1 year contract, and that affects the PSR massively.
Well, apparently it's 2.
You know, when I was a kid,
wasn't that an additional year they gave?
No. It's 2.
We never talked about anything about amortization and wages and that. You just went and did the business.
Yeah, and to get rid of all that talk, I'm with Lemmy. Fuck them. Let's just go for it, man. We've got.
No, Lemmy was joking us.
I'm with him. I'm with him. I don't care if he was joking or telling the truth. It's not going to be a 10-point penalty, is it? You know, what's the worst?
No, because 9 is bankruptcy, so it'd probably be 8 max.
No,
I'm sick of having to pussyfoot around and appease the Premier League when they don't really give a damn about us. They've made it quite clear they don't care about Nottingham Forest. We're a small club to them. So let's prove that we're not that small club. Stick 1 finger, 2 fingers out, however many fingers you want to up at them, and just go for it. Because if it was left to I've talked about his advisors and people around him, but if he's left to his own devices, Mr. Marinakis will just do exactly that. He will do what he wants.
Yeah, but as what you're forgetting is that since then, Rob and Mr. Turnip have put Nottingham back on the map. So
well, we put one of the shopping centres back on the map. Here we go.
I couldn't go through another points deduction again. It's not just the deduction itself.
If you know it's going to happen, obviously we're going to do things better next time round in terms of the players we get in. But if we've got that extra revenue already on top,
we've just got to get through this one last deadline, and then next year we can spend the same as everybody else.
Yes,
so
I know.
I think
we're changing the rules, Rob. No, we're changing the rules.
Yeah, but the trouble is there's no maximum penalty. So if we basically just look like we're saying
next year.
If we're saying F you and we just keep spending and we make no attempt, not only do we not have mitigation, there's actually there's no we've discovered this. There's no tariff. There's no if you're this many over, you get this many points. They could do us for 12 or 15 points next time. Because
bankruptcy is 9 points.
I'm going to appeal it every step of the way. You think you're going to get away with doing that? Go on.
Forget this conversation is purely hypothetical because I don't believe for 1 second that Nottingham Forest is going to deliberately break PSR again. No. I don't believe that. I think that this season we will try to stay in within those limits. So all this talk is just hot air.
I wish I had your confidence. I really
does that worry you that we get?
And do you think we're going to get the business done before 30th of June? Do you have confidence that we're going to do that?
If I'm honest with you, Ed, I don't know, and I don't think anybody really knows how much we need to raise.
We know the minimum. We know the minimum's 12 to 15.
That's a good point. Does it go the other way? Does it go the other way? So if you lose money, you then need to make
it'll count against you. Yeah, it counts against you.
So that means we might actually need to keep.
So with Turner, what did we? Who just?
And just.
I think he froze. Yeah.
No. Say with Turner, what did we pay for Turner? Was it 9? Just call it 10 million.
9 or 10, something like that.
So say it was on a 3-year deal. Let's call it 3 million a year, roughly. If we would sell Turner for 2 million,
£2.
Yeah,
8 million we signed Turner for.
8 million. Yeah. How long for? Do you know how long for?
He's on contract till 2027.
Give me years, man. 4 years.
3.5 years.
3 years from
4 year
now.
deal, yeah. Because we got him at the start of the season, didn't
3
we?
years, so 8 divided by 3. So you're looking at 2.8 mil per year on Turner. So if we sold him for over, say, 3 mil, we'll be okay. But who's going to pay that for Turner, you know? So it is a worry.
An American
Sheffield.
club, right?
Sheffield might, yeah. But my worry is, boys, is that what happens if will we get market value? Because they'll see us coming. Do you know what I mean? They'll see us coming.
But we're not the only ones. That's a factor in our favour. We're not going to be the only ones in this position. And teams like
Everybody's
Chelsea
going to be at it, aren't they?
Everybody's going to be at it.
The prices are going to be low. The prices are going to be
There are
low.
going to be some bargains to be had as well. And we got to make sure we pick a couple of them up. But everyone's in the same. A lot of teams, if not everyone,
is there not a panic button where we just sell people to Olympiacos? I mean, because they're on about
that. Yeah,
they're on about banning that, aren't they? About the multi-club ownership stuff, but they couldn't find a way of sort of encoding
that
it.
won't happen. Like, Man City and the likes, Chelsea, they won't let that happen.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, like for example, they've got Omar Richards, right? So and he has been playing. So you know, can they not? If it's like 3 or 4 million here or there, is there not some way we can?
We'll do it easy. We'll do it easy.
Yeah, but do you not worry, Lemmy, about the Euros getting involved in this? Because a lot of players don't tend to move in the summer tournament year until after it. And the Euro, when do they kick off? 14th of June, was it? I think. Yeah, it's off the top of my head. By the time they finish, it's not. Yeah. By the time they finish, Lemmy, it's like we're past that 30th of June deadline.
How many of our players are in Europe? Sorry, go on, Lemmy.
Well, yeah, my question is that more of a club dictated thing, like European clubs don't want to buy and sell players, or is it European players? Because Matt Turner doesn't fall under that bracket. I'd say Taiwo doesn't fall under that bracket.
True.
So I'd probably be looking at those. And then, I mean, Murillo, they've got Copa America, so that's pretty much the same thing as Euros, I guess.
Who cares with that idiot Southgate? Soon to be Man U manager, hopefully. soon. Okay, let's start talking football. Let's start talking Forest. All right. Let's get it out of the way. Is there any chance, chat, that Forest will blow a 12-goal difference?
Why are we even having this conversation?
Well, I said get out of the way. Let's get out of the way.
Come on.
That's why we're on the beach. I don't know what happened to you guys and not getting it.
Yeah, it's not mathematically possible.
What's changed in a week? What's changed in 6-7 days, man?
Well, Rob, you were the one who is still clenching your buttocks, if I remember your phrase from
I'm sure that we've got it in us to lose 6-0, but I just don't think Luton have got it in them to win 6-0. So you've got to remember, Luton have to do their part as well, and they are truly dire. So I don't know. The worst, if you look at the worst disasters we've had, it was like the 4-1 to Stoke and the 5-2 to Yeovil. So we're capable of losing by 3 goals, but not by any more, and that would mean that Luton have to make up 9. And they're shambolic. I think they could well just lose at home to Fulham. I mean, they got trashed 5-0 by Brentford, was it, a couple of weeks before? So if they can fall apart like that, I could see that happening again. So, yeah, the fact that Luton are so bad gives me confidence in our chances.
This is it. I said this several weeks ago that I didn't think Luton or Burnley would pick up another 3 points. And you guys said you're going to clip me. So clip me, because I'm still hoping that's the case. And they don't prove me wrong. But at the same time, I also said Forest will finish on 32 points. And I've got a chance for the boys to prove me right on that one. I think we're confident.
When have you said all this bollocks? When?
Why did you rewind 3 weeks? 3 weeks.
Mind yourself, man. I got other stuff to do than listen back to you Babylon, man.
Honestly, you call yourself out when you get something right. But I'm saying this, and I was confident. I wasn't panicked about this, and I'm not panicked about it now, as my attire will clearly tell you. I'm actually willing. There we go. Sorry, I didn't even notice. Bless you. He's got the memo now. But I'm not worried. I'm even tempted
Well,
not
after
to.
hearing what he said about is there any chance, I thought I've got to display my disagreement.
I'm not saying I'm as host here. I'm just putting the question out there that's been talked about, right?
You've been chatting to Rob too much this week, mate, and you've let the mind talk take over because there's no chance, man. You weren't thinking this a week ago, so why are you thinking it now?
Did I say I was thinking it? I'm just putting the question out there. I'm not thinking it. I'm not thinking it.
I can't believe you lot. I can't believe you not even think we'll lose to Burnley.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just going to say I can't believe you guys think we're even going to lose to Burnley, let alone lose 6-0.
We've had a loss and a draw in the City Ground this season.
I know, but come on.
Yeah, but when was the last time we beat Burnley, man? They've always been a bogey club. I hate going there. As in a way.
What gives me some hope, actually, is, I mean, those two games were a long time ago now.
The worst manager of the season.
I was at both of those games, and the two Burnley players that impressed me were Koleosho and Amdouni, and I think neither plays this.
Is that the number 20, Rob, who destroyed Montiel?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, in the League Cup game, Montiel was all over the place. So I think they are a very different team now, and we are also.
Did they both out, Rob? Do you say they're both out tomorrow? Do you say they're both out tomorrow?
Well, I think I was just having a look. Koleosho has not been playing recently, and Amdouni didn't play in the Tottenham game anyway. So I think they're a very different side, and we're a very different side.
Rob, I don't think on Sunday. I don't think we'll do this, and I don't think they'll do this. Why would they play the strongest team? They can't go anywhere. They're done. Their season is capiche.
Yeah, plus we had Matt Turner in goal for both of those games as well. So we had Matt Turner in goal for both of those games as well. We had Worrell playing instead of Murillo. So we are a very, very different team now. So I'm actually quite optimistic.
We had Cooper in the dugout.
But
I tell you what, Rob, if he names Matt Turner on the team sheet an hour before, I may be tending to agree with you that we'll get spanked 12-0. I'd love to see on Sunday, and people won't like this, but on Sunday, I'd love to see our players who we're going to keep, but who haven't had a proper chance, aka Sangare.
Perfect segue. Go for it.
Ribeiro, Sangare, Ribeiro. I want to see players who we know we're going to keep, not players who are going to go.
Ribeiro on loan, or do we own him?
He's on loan, but there's strong talks we're going to buy him. Can I just say, just before we go on to that, right? 37% of the votes said that Forest can do a Forest. You Rob pessimists. Can
I point out that Burnley have won 2 games at home all season.
Yeah.
One against Brentford in March, and the other one with Sheffield United, which we don't count. So in actuality, they've won 1 game at home all season, and people.
That was my point.
And when was the last time we beat them? I honestly can't remember. It must have been.
Don't need to be.
No, at their place. It's been donkey. I never liked going there.
You know, a team that includes Ian Story Moore and Terry Hennessy, that's got nothing to do with today's footballers, has it?
All right, so when we played Liverpool, you were always going about 84, City Ground 84.
Yeah, the only worry is I put a tweet out.
He was.
This when Ant was born, Burnley beat Haydock 15-0. In 1890.
When Ant was born, yeah.
Oh, 1890. I trust you to dig that one out.
15-0. They've
conceded 11 goals in their last 3 games. I mean, come on, guys.
Anyway, back to the point. I want to see players who haven't had a proper chance, especially Sangare, to have a full game on Sunday. I want to see Tyro have a full game, or look. I don't know which of the players who haven't played much are going to stay on. But Nuno will know, and I want to see them get a good chance.
Would you do that, Lemmy? Before you do, 88 likes, guys. Come on. We don't need these. Come on, 88 likes. With what we got, 443 in here. Come on. Lemmy, who would you agree with Crypto there? Would you look at these fringe players or players that maybe haven't had a chance to have a run, even with the 12th goal backstop thing?
Yeah, I would. I think it'd be a case of don't really want to be playing loans. I wouldn't even really want many loan players on the bench because they're going to be shipped off pretty much at 5 minutes past 6 on Sunday. They're going to be on the plane back home. So I'd want pretty much, apart from maybe Ribeiro, if there are talks about keeping him, then yeah, I'd want to field a side, basically treat it as a competitive preseason of, right, you want to prove that you want to stick around here, or do you want to get sold before the 30th of June to make sure that we can meet our PSR? I'd use that as the motivation and say, there's no way we're getting relegated. Let's just, you lot go for it and prove your worth.
Who in particular? Any names coming out at you that you want to see?
I mean, I'll probably get a bit slated for this after the performance that he put in on Saturday, but I'd want Toffolo probably part of that team.
Really?
Sangare, I'd want part of the team. Yeah, if we're playing, I'd play Olareno on the right because I wouldn't want to play Montiel. And Nico Williams can't play, so Aina on the right.
You got an agenda in Montiel, haven't you?
He's a lone player. He's not going to give an arse, even if we are.
He's going to get sold for 4 million though.
I don't think either more.
if all of a sudden Luton or Fulham have decided, you know, it'd be funny if we let Luton score 30 goals, so Forest go down, and we're up against it. I don't want any lone players who don't care because they're not going to be playing for us if we're in the Premier League or the Championship.
Let me. What about all the lone players that played in the playoff final?
Yeah, but that game meant something.
That's different.
Some of the lone players might be fighting for, you know, full times. I think Montiel's better than Toffolo, and I'd rather buy Montiel and let him think that he's going to be bought than have people who are not, you know, not on it.
If we didn't have the lone players playing in the playoff final, then I'd have had to have been in goal, and Ez would have.
I said to these guys the other day, the safest thing to do: go out on the pitch, get 5 red cards, lose automatically 3-0.
That's only on FIFA, mate. That's only on FIFA, right?
FIFA is life. Yeah, it's truth.
Ez, would you play Toffolo? I don't get this fascination with Toffolo. I saw he did a segment with Matt today, and he's a nice guy. You know, I liked what he said, but that doesn't mean I think he's that good on the pitch. I don't get. I think people kind of put the nice guy stuff sometimes before.
Last game was bad.
Agreed, but he obviously he made key mistakes.
Terrible error last year.
Yeah, and that cost us goals. So, but he hasn't always been like that. To be fair, he's been steady when he has been used this season, and I really don't have a problem with him. But I'm thinking this conversation doesn't make any sense because I don't think Nuno's looking at it that way at all. He's looking at it that we haven't secured safety yet. He's got to treat, and that's how he's got to treat it. Yeah. You can't be experimenting. You can't be having that mentality going into this game.
It's 12 goals.
No, I know, but you still can't have the mentality.
That picks up on
a point. It's a competitive preseason. I don't think you can go into.
I think that picks up on a point about the one thing I don't like about Nuno. It's negative attitude. If he's sitting there saying it's not really over, there's still a possibility.
No, he's just taking it seriously.
I'm looking forward to next season.
There's a 12-goal swing, lads. Whatever you do out there, no matter how much half of you don't care, no matter how much half of you put in a crap performance sometimes, don't worry because we're not going to get spanked.
I read it differently.
Hang on. I think as a football manager of a Premier League club, you have to put on the appearance of saying, yeah, it's not over.
Yeah,
I think in his mind, I think he knows it. He knows it.
It's because he was being asked dumbass, because the journalists we have in those presses are useless. They were starting to ask dumbass questions about, you know, what are your plans for the summer? Who's keeping? Who's going? What do you think about the new ground? And he's like, look, my focus is on getting the job done in this game. Now, that was the correct answer. And that's what he should be thinking about. His focus should be on the playing side and on preparing for the next game and on nothing else after that. Plus, from his own point of view, he does really need a win just to shore his own position up.
I agree, Rob, but I don't want the mindset of, I don't want the players going out there thinking there's a possibility we could flop this, because that's not the mindset. But that's the Stoke mindset. They're so terrified.
But the job is done. You can't have that mindset.
Look what happened with Stoke. They were so terrified not to give away that thing that they panicked, and we ended up.
They were shit players as well.
You said the S word, and nobody else said it, man. You had to say it, didn't you?
Stoke time
weren't
3.
going to mention the S word, so you mentioned it.
All right, but okay, let's just talk about Nunes quickly on this. There is a movement against him in the fan base, yeah, and fair play to them. It's their opinion.
It was from day one.
There was from day one. You could chuck that argument back. If Forest were to lose tomorrow, Sunday, I'm doing a U now. Would he be under pressure? Do you think?
I think he'd be under more pressure than if we get the win and we finish on the 32 points and at least a couple of points clear of those chasing us. So yeah, I think he needs the win. The points tally has been absolutely abysmal, but it's just about enough. And like I said, it's a bare minimum. To make it a little bit better than a bare minimum, he needs the 3 points on Sunday, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, 100%.
To be fair, it's 32 points is trap as well.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
The score makes a difference as well, doesn't it? If we lose 1-0, then okay. If we lose 7-0, God, not 7-0. If we lose 5-0, if we lose 5-0, then
you're not going to lose 5.
Crypto, shut up, man, about 5-0s and 7-0s, man. But no, 32 points is awful anyway. We should call it 36. I'm agree. Pat said exactly what.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, call it 36, and it's still poor, but that's on par with what it was last season. You know, and he's done like I said, the bare minimum. But he needs that win. 100%, he needs that win on Sunday more than the club do.
What about you, Anne? Where would you, looking at it from your perspective? Yeah, if we lost to Burnley. And you're like this. And by the way, I haven't seen the presser yet, but people have told me that he said that Dominguez has been carrying an injury for a while and he's now going into surgery. And you've been adamant that anyone who picks Yates,
I was going to address that, and I will apologise for that because for some reason we weren't made aware of that. So if that's the reason, then that's fine. I don't have an issue with him on that, and that does change things a little bit. Because that for me was such a bad thing to do, as you know, I made that quite clear. So if that's true and that's the reason he's not been picked, then fair enough. You can't argue with that.
But that aside, Dan, you still got your doubts, haven't you?
Yeah.
So where do you think? Obviously, you won't know till the games happen. But if we were to lose to Burnley, would that seed another?
I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever. And if we go out there and win 3-0, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden Nuno's a fantastic manager. You know,
you'd feel more like this.
I could see us doing that. I could see us being free from tension, free from anxiety and pressure, going out there, playing the football that we know we're capable of, and absolutely wiping the floor with a club that let a lot of goals in. Yeah. So I could see that.
Maybe they will play like that with the pressure off. That's what I mean. If there's no pressure instilled by Nuno to, you know, we have to win. We have to do this. If it's just a game of go out there, play your football, maybe we
enjoy it and show people what you can do. And give the fans some reward for sticking by over these terrible last few months.
But that suggests he's been saying anything different in the previous games. He's not, is he?
No, it's psychological, isn't it? It's psychological. It's like every match, there's all of that pressure on you to win. There's no pressure this game unless he starts Matt Turner. There's no pressure. It's a different mindset. It's a different mindset for the players.
Just a quick super chat here from Wazza. Thank you so much for the £3. Lemmy Total. We are going all out despite, he says to you, Lemmy.
I don't understand that. Is a question unless I'm failing to reading.
You got to clarify. That's why I poked it. Joe, on the subject of playing some players.
Yeah,
Omar Bamidele's been forgotten about. I haven't heard anyone talking about Omar Bamidele because obviously Bolly's been solid when he's come back in. No way did you, Steve Norris. No way. We need proof of that. We need proof of that, mate. If you got the Murillo shirt, get ready to be banned.
Again, are we?
Member or not, send us a WhatsApp message. You liar. Congratulations if you did. I hate you forever. But Omar Bamidele, let's talk about him because I think we're all in agreement on the panel that him and Murillo could be a future partnership and a really good one going forward. Would you consider dropping Bolly for this one, assuming we played a back four? Because Nuno tends to go back four if it's not a strong team we're coming up against. Would you play Omar Bamidele on Sunday?
I definitely consider it. I think it would be a case of, I think what Bolly's been doing since he's come back it's been what we've needed, really, especially with dealing with the amount of goals that we've conceded set pieces, which is all
and
of a
that
sudden
slowed down a bit. It slowed down a bit with him back.
Not just a bit; it's pretty much slowed down a lot. I'm no longer
technically a penalty is a set piece. So.
I'm not cacking my pants every single quarter. It's only like one every 10 minutes, maybe. I'm like, oh, this isn't great.
So would you?
So I mean, then I'd probably want to start on Bamadelli, but I don't think that's probably the route that it's going to go down. I'd say that the way that Bolly's been playing and having that experience next to Murillo is what we need. I'd almost consider playing, if we were playing a back three or a back five, I'd probably think about possibly dropping Niakate and playing Bamadelli on the far right and have Bolly in the middle.
Yeah, I can see kind of.
I don't know if I go back three on Sunday. I don't
against
think
Burnley. Is it too? It's overkill, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, I think so.
No, because as I've said on one or two occasions, it doesn't have to be defensive. You can have three back three, and then you've got those going forward. That makes it really attacking.
But and not with. I don't think with Toffolo. I don't think he's the right player.
No, yeah, that's a good point. That's a fair point. Yeah.
Rob, would you? What Jonathan said, actually, just probably do that. But that is way too generous, buddy. Thank you so much for the £10. I'm going to call it on Sunday. Burnley 1, Forest 3, he says.
That's my prediction.
Does that mean they're going to get a corner? Bloody hell.
They're definitely going to score a goal, aren't they?
It'd be nice to get a clean sheet.
How rare have our clean sheets been? Chuck, can you just look it up, see how many clean sheets we've had this season? Because I can't.
Chelsea, and that's the last one I can remember. Villa.
Do you know,
Chelsea and Villa.
Do you know what I think would have made a massive difference to our whole season? I genuinely believe this. If Willy Bolly was fit all season, I think we would have been safe 3 or 4 games ago. And I'll caveat that with if Matt Turner had never stepped on British soil.
Yeah.
If Matt Turner's visa had been denied at the border and Bolly was our centre back, we would have been all right.
All right, Rob, can we go full sentimental here? Right. Put that back. Who just moved that fucking message? Jonathan's, you bastard. Where's it gone? All right, Rob, full sentimental, right? Drop Murillo, drop Bolly, and go Felipe and Bamadelli. I mean, we're on the beach, aren't we? We have to send Felipe. I know Ant retired him, but would
bring
you
him on as a sub? He doesn't have to start.
Why not? We'll never see him again.
Look, he can come on as a sub. That's fine. He doesn't need
He's
to play
not
the whole
powers. We know that. Sorry.
I'm not convinced that they should play 5-3-2 or will play 5-3-2 because remember Cooper's had 2 games against Burnley this season, and Cooper played 5-3-2 at home in the League Cup game, and we had 0 shots on target in that game. Right now, if this had been a game that we needed to draw or win to stay up, I would have advocated playing three central defenders. But it isn't that. Plus, also, a lot of it depends on the personnel. I mean, like, you could play 3 central defenders, but if Toffolo's going to go on walkabout like he did against Chelsea, or Montiel's going to lose his man, both those goals, the first 2 goals against Chelsea were from wing backs completely losing their men. And it doesn't matter if you've got 3 central defenders on if they're going to do that. So I would like to see us go with the 4-5-1 again. I think the fullbacks are a question. I wanted Toffolo to start last week, but then he came. Last week I wanted Toffolo, Andy Langer, and Awonyi to start. All 3 came on and were atrocious. So that shows what I know. But
we've been trying to tell you all season, mate.
We do have an issue over who. I think as long as Montiel isn't going to trigger his clause, then he can.
Isn't Mont? I don't know what's happening, so I won't mention what has allegedly happened. But has he not been recalled to his home country.
Let's not talk about it because we don't know the details.
Yeah, we don't know, but I don't know. I don't know if he'll be available.
Right, okay, if he's not available, play Toffolo. Toffolo and Aina at right back, and then.
What about Tavares?
Loan rule, according to these laws, we're not allowed to play loan.
Yeah, he's going to say he's not. But he is.
What does that say to Toffolo? What does that say to Toffolo? Like, oh, here's a guy that's never going to play for us again and has been dodgy.
Why do people do this?
I don't know.
It's a competitive arena.
He thinks he's a professional footballer. He's top.
Yeah, you put your best
and he knows
team
he
on
made
the
a big mistake last week as well. So why would he think he's got
put your best team on the pitch?
Right to start.
These guys, man, they earn a fortune every week. They're doing what they love.
I'll say Tavares because he'll because Cho will be more likely to score if Tavares
is
injured,
playing. Mate. He's injured, mate. He's injured.
Is he? What?
Cho's injured.
Cho was injured, yes, he was, wasn't he? At the end of the game.
He got his ankle.
Wow, it's only taken 6 months, but I finally said something that shut Rob up, guys.
When did that happen? I watched the presser.
He got his ankle stamped on last game.
By Lingard.
Nuno said there's other players that aren't fit, but we're not going to mention them yet. So
right, okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be a big change team. I wonder if Tyro's fit. I'd love to see Tyro start, but is Tyro fit? Who knows?
Old fatty slow coach.
So there was
I'm in better shape than he is, mate.
I tell you what. I wish I was as fat as Tyro.
Does anyone remember last year there were 1 or 2 games where Taiwo played on the left?
Don't even. Do you want to trigger me right now? Do you know how annoyed that?
It wasn't bad.
Rob comes out with
eventually
every now and again
because he made that position his own, but it wasn't good.
Mind you, Ilanga's better on the left. We established that. So if Cho's injured, put Ilanga back where he belongs, and then potentially it's a Rayner opportunity.
Yeah, Rayner. Well said. I could have said it.
But that's another loan who's definitely going.
Yeah, okay, but it's caused by an injury. It's not picking a loanee over a fit player.
Evidently, Nico could be fit as well, evidently.
Yeah, right. I'm going to bring out it in just a sec. Just a quick reminder of Football Prizes' stunning offer: full-framed signed home kit by the squad. And for me, I'm sorry, no offense, it's the Murillo signed top. Crypto, I'll send you this picture and you can forge it onto your shirt there, his signature, so you know what it looks like. If you hit ticket number 40, Steve's claiming he did it, but I haven't seen no evidence of it. Insta win of Murillo. The link's pinned at the top of the chat. So make sure you grab your tickets. And I just want to explore what you just said about this whole nostalgia thing and how would that make so-and-so feel? Because I couldn't agree more with you. It's like, why do we care about hurting someone's feelings?
Yeah.
Is that the point you're going with there?
It's an elite sport. You're there to try and get to the top of your sport. And the only way you're going to do that is by being better than the other people who you're vying with. It's no good being not as good, but yeah, he's a nice guy, so put him in there. No, it's elite sport. I don't give a shit about it. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. It's like Felipe. I don't give a shit.
Well, you're crossing the line there, mate. You're crossing the line. You're crossing the line.
He was world class last season. One of the best defenders I've ever seen at Forest. Right up there with Des Walker for that short space of time. But this season, he's done nothing for us. Nothing. Just collecting.
Did you not see him modelling the shirts and on the club website?
Yeah, well, so he gets paid a lot. He gets paid a lot for doing that. Look, I've got nothing against him. Love the guy, but I'm not going to put him in the team for sentimental reasons. I would never put anybody in the team for sentimental reasons. We're Nottingham Forest. We should go out and try and win every game. And this game is very important because it's the last game of the season, and it will affect how you feel going forward.
So, Anne, on that sentiment, Stan Collymore calls Nuno up and says, do you know what, mate? I've just been able to get myself registered. You guys are safe. I'm in good shape. I've been doing all my treadmill and stuff, yeah? Can I play? Nuno says, let me call Ant and see if he'll agree to the sentimentality of Stan Collymore playing.
That wouldn't be sentimentality. If he's fit and able and ready to go, he's Stan Collymore. That's not
even at his age now.
If he rang up now and asked in his current situation, which I'm sure he's a fit He is a fit.
I'm saying right now, tomorrow, he calls, they'll give him, Morgan Gibbs White turns to him and says, you know what, Stan, because it's you, I'll even lend you back the number 10 shirt now. Yeah, just for one game. But it all depends on what Ant says.
Yeah, I might have unity, but only because it's Stan Collymore. No, because it's Stan Collymore, not because of anything else. Because he's magnificent. Only if he could still play well. If he couldn't play very well, then no. Of course not.
There was a great suggestion in the comments, which is that we give a sub appearance to Harry Arter just to celebrate the end of his long, successful Forest career.
A farewell.
I think just for the fans to give him the send off that he really deserves.
The thing is, I
want Forest to win on Sunday. They're my club. I want Forest to win on Sundays. Therefore, I want us to put our strongest team, and that doesn't include Felipe.
If we played Harry Arter, though, it'd be classic Forest. He'd play a match and everyone would be like, shit, he was our best player all along.
So we know he's not registered. I'm sure Rob's joking. Si's serious until the final whistle of the final game of the season, man. He doesn't mess around. He doesn't mess around.
Travel with the team and run up and down the line in front of the Forest fans so that we could give him the send-off that he deserves.
I would actually applaud him. I would applaud him.
Blaming him? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Applaud him. Man.
It's like, I would be like, can I have your agent's number, mate? Yeah. It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
To respond to Pat, who says, "And what happened to ex-players are dead to me." The ones that are playing for other clubs, yes. So Brennan Johnson, anybody else that was sold, I can't even think of anybody.
Mangala.
David Johnson.
Not Mangala. Not Mangala.
Thank you.
Not Mangala. Mangala's not been sold. He's only on loan.
Oh, mate. Who do you think's first out the door after the final whistle, mate?
Well, until that day, I'm going to maintain my position.
So when he leaves, will he be dead to you?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Once he's gone, if he goes to Leon, I don't care if he's player of the year. I don't care if he doesn't play another game. I am not bothered what he does. He's no longer a Nottingham Forest player.
Fair enough. Let's see. Chat, clip him, and we'll come back to it.
That doesn't mean that I won't say, "Oh, if only you had Mangala back, we'd be in a better position," because that would be true. Same as if we had Stan Collymore in his prime back, we'd be in a better position.
We haven't had a week since Mangala left. We haven't had a week where he hasn't been mentioned by either crypto.
Quite right, too. It's a disgraceful decision.
Ridiculous sentimentality.
All right, well, good news. I'm not watching it. Apparently, Southampton are winning 1-0. And yes, up the sorry Mike, man. Please beat Leeds. Please beat Leeds if you get through. I hate Leeds. I hate
None
Leeds.
of them seem to want it, though, do they? All the teams, first set of games was 0-0, wasn't it, in both games? It's like none of them.
4-0 yesterday for Leeds, though. Lemmy, looking at the season next year, if let's say Southampton or Leeds come up, so we've got Ipswich, Leicester, and one of those two. Do you think it's going to be a harder league next year than this year?
Nah.
You think it'll be easier?
Well, if there's anything that I think we've learned from this season, Forest play absolute dog water against dreadful teams. So bring up three best teams in the championship, and that's then guaranteed. What is that? 3, 9, 18 points. 18 points on the board before we've even started the season. That's great.
Yeah, but we only ever beat the bottom club twice. That's been the trend for the last 2 years, man. So, like, I don't know. You don't think it'll be stronger? Leeds, Leicester only were out on loan in the championship. And then Ipswich would be the only ones with no recent Premier League experience. That's surely a tougher one, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, obviously it's going to be tougher, but I think this year that we came up was probably significantly tougher than this year, and we finished on 38 points from 38 games last season. So I don't think whatever teams are coming up should phase us, really. And anyway, I think we've got through this season. This season, if we didn't get relegated this year, I don't know. It's going to take us clipping that 30 seconds where I said stick 2 fingers up and swivel on it. The Premier League will take that seriously and will actually deduct us like 30 points. Then I think we might go down. But unless that happens, I think we're fine.
Well,
so what's your expectation?
Are Leicester being deducted points pre-season?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, but it won't be. I don't think it's.
No, it will be serious. It will be serious.
Legal action, didn't they? They did a Marinakis and they threatened legal action. So that could be very interesting because I'm waiting for a club to take legal action against the league. And it would be against the Premier League, wouldn't it? Because it's carried over from when they were last in the Premier League. They couldn't do it to them while they were in the EFL. So it's kind of saved up.
If we'd have gone down, Rob, I'm certain Marinakis wouldn't let it go. If we'd have gone down,
I want Leicester to break the seal on that, because basically it's only lawsuits that are going to make the Premier League behave themselves. It's the only accountability that they're going to get.
Yeah,
that's why the shit's scared of Man City.
Yeah. But I think what we can safely say is Leicester won't get any points back for holding their hands up and mitigation on that, man. That's for sure.
Fingers up, that's for sure.
They weren't going to have any points deduction at all, but it's the way that Leicester handled it.
It's the way they reacted. Yeah. Okay. Quick question around the houses before we get the score predictions. Crypto. Just before we'll do a stream on this in the next week or so. But as you sit here now, what say kind of your expectations for next year? Where do you want to see Forest and where do you think you'll see Forest? Obviously, we've got a whole summer transfer window ahead of us, but 2 years back now in the Premier League, we've survived the second season syndrome thing and what have you. What do you think the expectations should be for next year?
I think realistically, we need to aim 12th, 13th, realistically. I just want to see what I want to see. I said it before on the last stream. I want to see us beat the teams who I think on paper we should beat. If we lose to Man City, lose to Arsenal, etc., have a good go. If you lose to them, that's fair. There's no expectations. But to lose to all the teams around us, for me, is not acceptable. And if Nuno does start to do that, then I think he has to go. But for us, we need a full pre-season. Nuno needs to get his players in. And we need to try and aim for a mid-table finish. We've got to have this long-term vision of staying in the Premier League and eventually at some point getting into a European place. But I don't think that realistically is going to happen next year. Yes, we could do a Leicester and win the Premier League, but not after the form Chris Wood has been in recently. So realistically, I just want to see us win the games we should win. And the one thing I don't want to see is like some games, and again, this normally happens against the lower sides, is we just look like we don't care. We look like we don't care. We care against the Man Cities, we care against the Liverpools. We nearly win them, but we lose because we're not quite good enough. But then the teams around us, we just look like we don't care. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that anymore. I'm fed up of seeing us just going out, not really caring. The best games really have been the ones we've lost against the top six. And against the bottom six, they need to be the games that we win.
Yeah. 100%.
Just quickly, Dan's asking, where did we find Rob? We don't know. He just randomly got the login once. And
I went to buy a turnip once from a market, and I found him on a market store. Just selling turnips. I could see him going to click the button.
No, Rob basing it was must have been 6-7 months ago.
It was after the Luton game.
Yeah, he sent me abuse saying, "How dare you be Cooper out, blah blah blah. I'll take you on, name the time and place and which boxing ring." And I was like, should we just have a chat on stream instead? And we did. And then since then, the love has slowly grown for each other.
You know what these politicians are like with a foot in the door, don't you?
Yeah. Just a quick reminder before I get the other guys' thoughts on it and get your thoughts. Just put in the chat where you would think Forest will finish. I've seen a lot of 12th. I've seen Eddie saying 10th, but Eddie's always high. So I don't know, maybe he was trying to write 20th or something. Get where you think Forest would finish. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And tomorrow we've got the Burnley preview video for you, but within that will be the unboxing and revealing of the PC that you guys got for me. You guys are unbelievable and amazing. It's an absolute beauty. I mean, Rob's...
I won't do a word said against Amstrad.
It's full of RGBs on as well. It's full of
RGBs. Rob's replaced Rob's replaced his porn collection with a picture of the PC. It's it's that good. So thank you guys.
Can I point out as well, Wolfie, that it appears that our viewership are not too sentimental either regarding Felipe from that poll.
Yeah,
I don't want to
total
talk
flip
about
floppers
that.
this time last season. Remember,
honestly,
You know. In all seriousness, is he retiring from football or
yeah, football?
Yeah.
Can he not be a coach? I think he'd make a brilliant defensive coach for Forest.
You just want to keep him around, don't you? And I don't.
I'd keep him around as a coach. I'd give him a manager's job.
I just feel bad because Ant single-handedly retired him, and I feel like we owe him something.
No,
I think he'll cope.
Will FFTV be having a summer barbecue? Maybe. I don't know. I'm going on holiday, so I can't wait.
I don't know. We have to.
All summer. Well,
to be fair, the weather's so crap this year. There's probably.
All right, will you guys who actually pay for tickets turn up this time? Man, there's like over 100 people sold. So if you guys want it, we will definitely do it. But I think I'd rather just do like a barbecue settings rather than a stage thing, just where we're just chatting with everyone, maybe. Because that was my something.
I was thinking something like, where Psycho was and Norm, that kind of pub thing where it's a bit more intimate.
Oh, you want to get into it?
Yeah.
I want to get into it with my viewing public.
Felipe.
He was going to say my adoring fans. Just say what you're thinking, Ant.
I was going to say something rude, so that's why I stumbled.
Yeah, we haven't yet nailed down our summer plans, but I'm with Ant. I don't know. We'll talk to the other guys, but I don't even think we'll do a stage thing. Just maybe a gathering. I think that'd be more fun.
We need to get a friendly pub on side.
We got a few.
Yeah, because like the Trent Nav are all over Forest Focus. It's like they get mentioned every 5 minutes.
That's Ant's cousin, mate. That's Ant's cousin.
Yeah, traitor.
Yeah. But okay, so yeah, we'll let you know about the plans and everything. All right, Joe, expectations. Don't take as long as Crypto did.
All right, I'll keep it pretty short and sweet then. Minimum 15th. Sort out the 3-2 losses, and I think we can be pushing for 10th to 12th.
Yeah. And speaking of people who are high,
told you.
He was quality at the barbecue, man.
Yeah,
Great CFF TV bigging up other Forest channels like Talking Reds and Red Side of the Trent. Love that. Yeah, we got no beef with anyone, mate. If you're a red, you're a red. Yeah. And if you got different points of view, so much the better. It sparks a more interesting debate. But yeah, Talking Reds is a new Forest podcast, I believe, that they're doing on YouTube, as well as Greg I forgot his surname, Orman?
Greg Oram.
Oram, that's the one. So check those guys out. It's on our Twitter. We've retweeted them. If you want some more Forest content, go show them some love. You should be subscribed to every Forest channel. Okay. Sorry, let me.
Can we give everyone's score predictions as well and cut this short?
All right, calm down, mate. All right, here you go. You take over.
And hit the like.
Yeah, hit the like buttons as well before I go mad at you lot.
Go on, Ed, you're in charge.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't get Lemmy's score prediction. So
you should have been listening.
No, you didn't give one.
Yeah, because we weren't doing score predictions yet. I think we were going around.
No, we're doing both. I'm putting it short, man. Tell us where you're going to
all right. As I know that sometimes.
I just want to get back on that sunbed.
So, sorry, it's Ez now hosting. We're doing score predictions now immediately. I think that Forest will lose 13-0 and we still won't go down because Luton are absolutely dreadful. No, realistically, we won't keep a clean sheet, but I think we'll win 3-1.
Over to you, Rob. Where are we going to finish
score
next
prediction,
season?
I think
where do you want us to finish next season comfortably?
All right, so expectations. Look, the problem that we've got, we cannot have another points deduction, right? If we get through June 30th, it looks like we're going to have a points deduction, plus we lose top players, plus we're still having the debate about bloody Toten. We could be...
Yeah, well, exactly. Why didn't I learn from last time, man? I shouldn't never go to you, bro.
No, but
you're a harsh host, Des. You kicked him.
I'm worried. I'm worried that things could go very bad this summer. We've had the season ticket price rises. If we fuck up on PSR again, and if we're talking about going to Toten, it could go very bad, right? There's a positive side to that if we get those things right. But the first thing is no points deduction. If we get a points deduction, next season is going to be exactly like this one. That's my prediction.
That's not a prediction. A prediction's a number. It's a number. You said all that crap and you didn't come up with a number.
No, we'll come about 16th or 17th because I think that they're going to get all of those things wrong. If you ask me personally, I think we are on the road to making some serious mistakes in terms, and I think that it could get pretty toxic. But that's you could make a whole nother video about that. Don't ask me to do that in 30 seconds.
Okay.
What's your score prediction?
1-1. It'll be like the Palace game end of last season. The job's already done. Nobody cares. It'll finish 1-1.
They want to hear the speech.
If we get PSR'd again, I'll do a Hitler downfall video just about that.
Wow, definitely clip that. Right. On a lighter note, come on, cheer us up a bit, man.
Sorry.
Where we
That's what I think.
I kind of look, we don't know, so we can only speculate, and so I will speculate. I think that we'll be okay. I think that Mr. Marinakis, I think this Toten thing will be pushed to. I'm hoping it's pushed to the back burner because I'm sick of it. Yeah, but he did ask for prediction for the next season, so I'm hoping we finish about 14th or above, and I think we win 3-0 on Sunday.
Crypto, come on.
2-0, Forest.
What about next season?
I said 12th.
Yeah, you should be listening as the host, Des. He did answer that earlier.
We skipped past him quite quickly, so there must have been a reason for it.
Nah, he did a Rob style speech, mate.
I did a Rob style speech. I went on great. You just fell.
I haven't even started speaking yet.
It's a bit of a big question for a soundbite, though.
Right, Ez, you shut up. Rob, you're gone. Ez, shut up. You're... Thanks for watching FFTV. Come on, you Reds.
All right, chaos. I'm taking the reins back. Right. On that note, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. for the Burnley preview and the unboxing. Do hit that like button and let us know in the comments which of these lots should we sack off for next season. Yeah, or should we do a poll
or something else?
Lemmy's in the graveyard.
Quickly get it in the chat. Who should we sack off for next season? Right. Off the panel, get rid, never to be seen again. Let us know. Oh, Ez the Merciless. Oh, no, I thought he was going for you, Ez. Sakamore says TSR. TSR, you are absolutely spot on. Craig, we used to be friends. Wait, the one in the top left. So let me know. Let me say charge. Oh, they're all going for me. All right, on that note, we'll see you on tomorrow's video. Come on, you Reds.
You Reds.
Good.